And here are examples of positive and negative estuaries. So first, a little sketch of how the water movement, the average movement of water looks like in these estuaries. We have positive estuaries and negative estuaries. Okay, and this one shows a vertical section. Again, you cut through a positive estuary in the vertical and you can see the structure of flow. So you have an outflow of low salinity water in the surface layer into the ambient ocean, and you have an inflow of seawater into the estuary. These are the average flows. So if you average over several days, you get these flows. Okay. In an inverse estuary, you have an outflow of hypersaline water near the bottom and sucking in seawater near in the surface layer. Okay, and there are two examples of these estuaries. One example of a positive estuary is the Baltic Sea. Baltic Sea is connected to the North Sea. Okay, you have the North Sea, and this image shows you the bathymetry of this region. Very, very shallow. The deepest parts are something like 200 meters deep. It's a very, very shallow and an excess of fresh water. There are hundreds of rivers feeding fresh water into that system. An example of a negative estuary is Spencer Gulf, and Spencer Gulf is shown here in this bottom panel. And what's indicated here is the average salinity, and you can see as you move up in Spencer Gulf and towards Whyalla and Port Augusta, it gets very, very salty. 45 salinity units, okay, which is something like 10-20% more than you find than the salt, the salinity of the open ocean. So if you taste it, you can taste the difference and the different salinities between normal seawater and the hypersaline water in the upper reaches of Spencer Gulf. I cannot recommend tasting the water, though. Okay, it's just don't take it too seriously what I say. Okay, from the salinity, just another fascinating feature is from the salinity that, for example, this map shows you can actually infer horizontal currents. You can see that there is a movement of saline water to the south, and there is a blue is the seawater. There are actually some structures that you can see here, which are called eddies in the ocean. It's fascinating. So salinity gives you quite a bit of information on the water movements, the circulation, but unfortunately we can't measure salinity accurately from space.